Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Global Intelligence Update. So I'm extremely excited to have Lottie Hearn sharing the virtual stage with me today. So Lottie is the queen of confidence on camera. So she has promised me she's going to pick on all of you today, but in a nice way. That's the rules. So just a bit of background about Lottie. Lottie is from Ireland. She's really an incredible speaker. She is really funny as well. I really enjoy chatting to her. And yes, she's going to make today so much fun. She's going to give us tips how to have confidence on camera, how to, get your brand out there and do all the things right. So over to you, Lottie.
When you first hear that you've been asked to go on camera, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? I haven't frozen. That was actually me asking you a question.
Melanie says her hair.
What's the first thing that comes into your mind? Everybody shout, let me know, just shout out. Or jot it down in the chat.
Mine is I've got to do my hair.
Got to do your hair. Thanks, Melanie.
Makeover.
Who is my audience?
Makeover, says Tanya. Nicola thinks, who's my audience? Interesting. Anybody else?
Zama says shower. Angela says how do I hide my double chin, which is great. What else did you guys say?
Does any, just with a show of hands, does anybody think, do people tend to think more about yourself? I can see that there were a few people that think, or do people start thinking, oh, what am I going to say?
I think from the comments here, Lottie, everyone is about myself.
Oh, you are an absolutely fabulous circle of excellent people. Thank you very much. Because usually when I ask that question, most people go tech, 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 tech. And I'm so glad that you didn't, as a group, start going tech first, because that actually has cut out almost the first part of my talk, because that was going to be all about, hey, tech mayors happen, get over them. It's never about what happens, it's how you recover from them that actually enables you to connect with the people who are in the room with you. So, but I can forget all of that because we might talk about tech stuff later on in the Q&A if anybody has any questions, pre-preparing people. But the reason I ask you that question is because when you first come to think about you being seen on screen, a lot of people worry that, oh, is it going to kill me? Is it going to crown me? Well, they don't. I've just said that. It's what is going to put me down? How am I going to be judged? What's going to go wrong? Rather than actually thinking, oh, I'm the expert in my field. I know what I'm talking about. That's why somebody's asked me. So think of yourself as the expert guide. But having said that, by the way, I do this. I've got a plan. I come up with all sorts of cheat sheets and notes and things all over the place when I go live. But when I go live, whatever happens, happens. So please, I do encourage you when I shout out at the beginning, please do get involved, write things down. Nicola, thank you, Nicola, by the way, is going to be letting me know what you're putting in the chat room. But please do feel free to engage. And I'm giving you fair warning now, as Nicola said. Never just throw somebody on screen, always get their permission for them to be seen. So I've already given you that. If anybody just wants to put their hand up like, I know, please don't pick on me today. Just having a quick look away. Anybody that go, if you really don't want to be picked on today, I can see no hands. I love it. Or do what Angela does and just put a picture of you up. I can see Garth and Bruce and Diane have just got their picture up. Jeez. But
and then while we're doing this, is there anyone who wants to receive coaching today? So live coaching.
Melanie's got her hand up. Yo,
Elmo, Philippe, Paula, Tanya.
Great.
We have a whole group.
I love the super keenness, because basically what Nicola and I had originally planned is I was going to do kind of a 5-minute intro to what the topics and things are, and then I was going to go on to like the top tips that can help you. But I always find, I don't know about you, any trainers, mentors in the room? Yep. Paula, just put your hand up. Great, Bruce is there. You'll know then very well that the easiest way to actually make something sink in here is by doing it. So are you all okay if I kind of go, because of the nature of you who are in the room, I'm actually just going to put my original talk that I had planned with Nicola out the window, and we can learn things as we go with some coaching. Yeah?
Perfect.
Oh, I love you. You're my favorite group today. You're my favorite group yet today. I mean, favorite group this year. Oh, actually, yeah, I haven't really been, sorry, I haven't been, if my brain goes today, by the way, folks, it's just my MS brain. I haven't really been working this year very much, but I could not say no to Mike and Landy, my favorite people, 2 of my favorite people in the world, and your circle of excellence. It's, yeah. Enough about that, otherwise I'll get emotional. So what I want to kick off with then is, Nicola, you said first of all that you'd be happy to be a guinea pig. So can you give people an example of what I said to you about, think of a 30-second, whether it's an intro to you want to try, whether it's a new opening to a virtual talk, whether it is part of a talk that you want to speak about. And what I'd like everybody to do, because actually I do have to set up this one thing before we get going, is that this is a conversation.
Yeah.
The reason I love Mike and Landy so much is anytime you see Mike on camera, you see Mike on camera exactly as he is in real life. There's no pretense, there's no extra show. He just speaks it from the way he speaks it. And Landy is exactly the same. And having met Nicola sitting next to me over here, I can see that Nicola is on that same path. So if you're part of the Circle of Excellence, and I'm sure then that is your thing as well, because this mean machine, as the setup says, it can kill you or it can crown you. But whose decision is that? Is it yours or is it your viewers? Whose point of view actually counts? And what I want to stop is, I loved it, everybody saying, yeah, oh, have a shower, do my hair, get myself sorted. That's all about me in the moment. But the moment you are here, you, it's about you. So you are never staring at the camera. This is a machine. Try, just right now, before we do the coaching, try staring at a spot on the wall and try thinking about, look about how your energy feels. If I stare at a spot on the wall, after about 10 seconds, 7 to 10 seconds, it starts to get really boring and my energy starts to drop. So do that exercise for yourself quickly now, and then come back to the camera and think of it being a real person. Who's that wonderful person in your world that you would chat to? Never chat at, chat through the camera lens. So I've got Nicola over here. And the reason I have my camera here, my screen over here, I make it very obvious that I'm actually looking at the screen. I'm looking at Nicola now. But what do you see? If I'm looking here, This is probably Zoom 101 for most of you, but if I'm looking over here, I'm not actually making eye contact with you through that camera. So when you are talking, please be speaking to and through, never at and flat. All right? And bring some fun with you when you do it. So Nicola, hopefully that little tip has given you a bit of time to think about it. And what I'd like everybody in the room to think about, your presentation on camera is broken down to 3 key V's. Most important, not the words you choose to use. You're the expert in your field. You know what you want to say. Trust your brain that you do. But this is a visual medium. So there are things that work on camera, and there are things that can really irritate people on camera. So they are much more irritating on camera than they are on stage. All of you stage speakers out there, you can be big on stage. Here you shrink it down to fill the frame. So I want you to think and look for yourself when you see Nicola speaking. What do you like about Nicola? Visually, what you see. Vocally, what you hear. How does she use her voice? Vocal variety holds interest. That's why radio DJs used to talk like this back in the day, but not so much anymore, thank goodness. But you can play with your voice a bit more. So visual, what you see, vocal, what you hear, and verbally, the words you choose to use. So visual, vocal, and verbal, that's the understanding. When they all fly like ducks in a row, that's what enables and allows understanding through the camera. So Nicola, yes, that's given you plenty of warning, and I've got to suck on my tea right now. So everybody, please write down what you like about Nicola first. I want 3 things you like about Nicola, and then was there anything you found distracting or potentially irritating? No judgment, just potential. All right, so Nicola, let's hear it from you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicola Potgieter. I am based in South Africa, Cape Town. And this morning, I will be taking you through your LinkedIn profile and how to become the best LinkedIn expert for your business. So with that, I mean, getting business through LinkedIn, connecting with people through LinkedIn, and also actually having people show up at your events. And I'm stopping there.
Big round of applause for everybody, please. Big round of applause. Thank you very much for joining in. Do appreciate it. Nicola, before I ask your viewers, how did that feel to you?
Okay, obviously I can put a bit more thought into it. So it's like you said, you think
stop. I'm going to stop you right there, Nicola. Nicola, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicola has done the normal thing when people think about them presenting on camera. Yeah. She's gone straight to judging herself, hasn't she? Nicola, what did you like about yourself? What felt good? What felt comfortable about you being on screen? Visually, vocally, verbally. You went straight to the verbal.
Okay. Visually, my hair is fine this morning. Furthermore, I think visually there's enough light on my face so you can see my face, you can see facial expressions. I hope my camera is clear and off camera, my microphone is clear enough for everyone to have heard what I said, and that I'm speaking clearly so that I'm not mumbling. Obviously, accent-wise, I think I have a proper accent where people can understand me. And then thirdly, yeah, when we go back to speaking or expressing, is I used keywords that would draw people in to whatever they will need for their in coaching or in their business needs, if we have to say it that way.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Nicola, for your self-assessment there, because the awareness that you have of being able to identify, this is what works for me, this is what's just potentially distracting for me, is one of the first tools that you can put on your confidence on camera tool belt. So I'm going to throw it open to others now. Can anybody tell me what did you like about Nicola on screen, and tell me whether it's a visual or a vocal or a verbal impact that you are assessing right here?
So Philippe said, that was good. I just noticed the sound, a bit of an echo, maybe a
Okay,
small...
okay, hold it, stop there, Nicola. That again, that goes in the distractions box. So what did we like first? Always what you like. What works? What did you like? What works? What did you like?
Then he said maybe a small room with a concrete room or glass, and then soundproofing should help heaps. Intro was good.
And sorry, that was from Nikolai, was it?
That was from Philippe.
Philippe, thank you very much. Distractions, always good to know about, but we would normally look at first, what do we like? So, and I'm doing this for a reason, because by the way, you are all going to get from Nicola a self-assessment report, which actually gives you, for you to be able to identify for yourself what works for you. So do we have, Philippe, thank you for that. Yes, soundproofing. And I really appreciate any other coach who's got ideas. Please do, as Philippe said, put your suggestions in the conversation. Anybody shout out tips that they liked?
Nomzamo said, neat, clear speech and diction. Then Elmo said, clear vocal. And then Philippe said, again, a lot of clarity in her speech. Tanya said, sounded confident, lovely voice, was interested. Bruce said, nice smile and clear voice.
Yes, Bruce, thank you. You get the brownie points first off, because I was desperately hoping one of you was going to say, look at Nicola's smile. Doesn't the screen just light up when she smiles? And it's absolutely true. She says Nicola sitting there going, oh, really? Judging herself. I want you all to do me a favor. Put your right hand on your right shoulder. And this is your little judgment devil who is going to tell you the bad things. So I want you to look at your judgment devil and go, thank you for those thoughts, pick them up and dismiss them. All with me, 1, 2, 3. Thank you for those thoughts and dismiss them. Thank you for those thoughts and dismiss them. Thank you for those thoughts and dismiss them. Judgment be gone. Bring in your perception angel. Not everybody is going to like you. So stop helping the trolls and helping people write nasty things about you, which you shouldn't really care about anyway. Focus on the people who are writing and saying brilliant things about you. Yes, I totally appreciate the comment about the audio. Yes, we need to be seen. We need to be heard clearly, but that's technical and that can be fixed like that. So bring in your perception angel and be kind to yourself, please. I think we've all had to learn how to do that during COVID. So please be kind. So Nicola, your smile, phenomenal. It really does light up the screen. Now, yesterday, I was going to say to you, I could see one thing that you could do to make yourself even better. So now we've done the what do we like, what potentially could be the perception irritations. Nicola, what do you think could be?
I don't know, say to me.
Thank you for that answer, Nicola, because that's what people usually say. Oh, go on, you tell me. And I'm like, who knows your face and you better than you do?
My frown.
No, your frown is expression. I'm sick of Botox people. I'm watching old movies and I'm loving seeing wrinkles on people's faces rather than faces that don't move. So your frown, this is what we call the golden triangle. People look at your eyes to your mouth. So the rest of your face needs to bring in some expression, but it needs to be expression that matches the words you choose to use. Any of you trainers there, you all know about the Morabian, the percentages that have all, since now people are going, oh no, they're a load of rubbish. They are not a load of rubbish, especially through camera. What is a load of rubbish is separating them. So yes, as I said at the start, you're the expert in your field. You know the words you want to use, you know the message, you know the stories. So start thinking of these like stories. Bring the expression to the room. Oh, if you heard bibbidi beep, excuse me, reminding me. Bring the expression and match the way in which you say it, the way you look, and the way in which you use your voice. Nicola, you were saying your accent.
Yeah.
How many people said clarity? So easy to hear, nice and clear. Now I can see Melanie's nodding. Thank you. Tanya's nodding. Lots of people nodding there. And oh, hello, Paul. I can see you in the room here. I know Paul through the Professional Speaking Association. Saw him speaking in the UK years ago, and I can't remember whether Paul was there when I was on stage. Can't remember that. But good morning, Paul. Thank you. By the way, like Mike, Paul is a consummate speaker of sharing the stories as naturally as you possibly can. Be the mood, the feel of the words you choose to use. That's your emotional connection. So I want you all to do, before I move on to coaching the next person, I want you all to do a quick exercise for you. Turn your sound on, please, for everybody to unmute yourselves. And I want you to just shout out, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Melanie, thank you very much. Thank you, Melanie. Because anybody who was watching there who didn't join in, by the way, you don't have to. It's totally up to you. But anybody who was watching, did you hear all these? I'm excited. I'm excited. The flatness. This mean machine steals up to 30% of your energy, because this box, the frame that you are in, is only 2D. Unless I use a wide angle lens, which I used to have, turn the camera around, on the top of my iPad there, that's a little clip-on lens that you can create a wide angle, but because I'm using my webcam, my Brio webcam, I don't use that so much anymore, but it used to give this lovely 3D effect. Why is that important? Camera, 2D, in person, 3D with depth. So if you think about it, you've lost about 30% of your energy just from being a flat face on screen. So you need to bring that extra energy and match it to the words you choose to use. So thank you very much, Melanie, for actually going, I'm excited. And then laughing at yourself too, because that's the next thing to bring in. This is fun. Bring it some fun. Bring it some fun. Yeah, if you say the wrong thing, laugh at yourself, because it's going to happen. So Nicola, accent, one tip about accents, please use them. Yes, clarity for your diction. Technology has changed, technology will change. Tech mayors will happen, tech mayors, nightmares. Everything that can go wrong in tech will go wrong, but what doesn't change is the old Greek oration. See, I can't even see it. Demosthenes, one of the first Greek orators, used to put stones in his mouth so that he could learn to speak clearly. As a performer, as an actor, as a TV presenter, I've had to learn these techniques. And because I'm not on a stage, you can still speak on camera, standing if you want to. I would have to raise the camera slightly and also check. I've got my party pants, my performance pants, and for fun for me, I've brought my fun slippers, my leopard skins. Seeing as I'm speaking to South Africa, I thought I'd bring my leopard skin slippers. But do whatever you need for yourself to boost your energy, that extra 30%. And with the voice, anybody who hates their voice recording, I'm not surprised. We all do, because mean machines steal about 60% of how you hear your own voice reverberating in the hollows, the water, the fluids, everything around your body. So lost 60% of how others hear your voice and how you hear your voice, you've lost 30% of your energy. So bring it and boost it, but match the mood of the words you choose to use. Does that make sense, Nicola?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. Accents, keep them. They're part of your personality. They're super important. Paul on stage is like his pure South African, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Right, let's move on then. Who else, Nicola, would be willing to have a jump on camera? 30 seconds is enough.
Okay, guys, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, go. Elmo.
Elmo, hello. Now, Elmo, I said already my lighting is crummy today because I've got such bright light coming in, and my normal ring lamp over here isn't defeating it. But Elmo, first thing I can see for you, because this is a technical, and this is what I was going to say to Nicola yesterday, raise your camera up and tilt it down so that literally it's coming. Think of television, how you see TV presenters. You're wanting to pro live. You're not just going live. You don't go live, you pro live, because you're a professional business person. So stop wasting all that space above your head, and then your chin gets covered up by your lower third, your name just here. So stop wasting that. Set up your camera if you can. You raise your camera up so that you're looking up to camera. Gives you that extra energy boost rather than looking down at camera where your mind is mentally going downwards. So
who was it who said hiding their double chin? So I think that as well.
That's the easy way. The higher you raise your camera, not only does it put your energy up and your voice up and out, you hide your double chin. Nobody really likes seeing themselves like this. And that's the other thing. Can you hear? I'm not doing anything as I raise and lower my voice, but can you hear what's happening to my voice as I move my head? The moment I'm looking down, I'm not doing anything here, folks. That's just me squashing my voice box. So always set up and out, easy tech. Right, Elmo, yay, that's much better. And you wasn't wasting the space above the head. But you might not be able to do it now, Elmo, but please, people, forget that tech hitch right there. So Elmo, let's get you on camera and give us your 30 seconds that you'd like to share, please. Oh, muted. You're doing a Lottie. See how easy it is, folks? You're doing a Lottie. Welcome to Screen, Elmo. Tell us, what's your story
Thank you very much.
today?
I'm Elmo Lombard from South Africa, living in Cape Town. And yeah, we are in digital marketing and business consulting world. We do business 360s and marketing 360s, so help people to get a holistic view of their businesses and their marketing. And yeah, that's what we do from day to day. We are in this business for 15 years. Thank you very much for your time.
Elmo, thank you very much. So this time I'm going straight to your viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, what worked for Elmo there? Visually, vocally, verbally?
I can see a lot of people typing, so we'll see.
Come on, people. This is confidence on camera. Jump on screen and shout it out.
Yes, Angela said lots of energy in his voice.
His eyes and facial expressions are matching what he's saying.
Thank you, Melanie.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Anybody, what about the verbal, the content of what Elmo shared there? Okay, now I'd like you to jot down anything that Elmo could have done better. So again, rather than what's distracting or irritating, that's the judgment language, perception angel, what could have been even better.
While people are thinking, Lottie, I want to ask a question regarding, because Elmo and I both did the same thing. So saying, I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, how important is it, especially in the virtual space, to state where you are from? Does it give you a lot of weight when you're speaking to international people, or is it something that you would rather just leave out entirely?
On that one, I'm going to put that back.
Okay.
Think to you all, think of those who choose to view you. Do they already know? Does it matter to them? Is it important? Are you speaking live on screen because this is a marketing event? Or are you speaking to viewers who already know you? And I'm choosing to use the word viewer rather than an audience, because an audience is on stage. This is the more intimate, focused frame of being on camera, like television. So think of people who are joining you and those who choose to view as viewers. Then you can think and come back to that one-to-one conversation. Because how many of you out there watch YouTube videos or helpful videos with other people? Not me. I watch them on my own and I learn from them in my own way, the way I choose. And if I like the person who's presenting it, I keep watching. If I don't, I'm like, nah, stop, nah, on to the next one. So yes, you've got 3 to 7 seconds to make your impact. Then people can choose to continue to view you. But what you'll see the whole way that I'm speaking is there's 3 to 7 seconds to make the impact, but then there's a repetition of 15 to 30 seconds where that impact needs to be brought in again. So something needs to happen for our brain every 15 to 30 seconds for us to re-engage, re-engage, re-engage. Doesn't matter what it is. It might be a quietening of the voice. It might be a wham. It might be a shock. So whenever, especially Elmo, I loved that you chose then to do the introduction to yourself and your marketing business. Good promo skills, sales pitch. I love the content there of your verbals. And yes, great energy. You brought that energy and it was fun. And your smile at the end. Who smiled because Elmo smiled? Yeah. Nearly everybody's putting their hands up. A smile begets a smile. It's the first thing babies learn to do so that not just their mum and dad will pick them up, but anybody in the tribe will pick them up and cuddle them and keep them warm. Smiles beget smiles. So always find that time to smile. And I loved, Elmo, that you especially brought that in big time with your energy at the end. How did it feel to you, Elmo?
Yeah, I think it was a good experience. I realized that I was talking faster and faster and faster.
Judgment devil, who can hear the judgment devil?
Yeah, no, it was a good experience. It was a good experience.
Okay. So Elmo, do you think that what would you say that you could have done better yourself from how you felt about it?
I could talk slower. And I realized while you were talking all the tips that you give, the energy, I normally don't bring the energy in conversations. You know, you mentioned it, so I brought it in. But normally I'm like this, you know, and I realized, you know, that is a killer for a conversation online. So for me, it was, you know, if you haven't mentioned that, you would have seen my normal self. I will tell you who I am. You know, that's the mode that I default to on screen.
Thank you for that demo, Elmo, because everybody, you can hear the difference straight away, can't you? Everybody. It's the monotone, the flatness. Vocal variety holds interest. It can be notes of highs and lows. It can be volume as well. And actually, one of the big tricks, if you've got without the creaky chair, one of the big tricks is often when I've got something that I really, really, really want people to know about, I'll have been sitting back, I'll have been chatting, I'll have been fast paced, and then suddenly, here's the top tip. Play with the camera, and hopefully get yourself a non-squeaky chair. but by playing with the camera, know your framing. So this is what you need to practice, is how do I move so that actually I'm still with my face, the golden triangle still being seen. How can I actually move? Where do I go? And you'll also see that much of the time I'm moving fairly slowly because cameras pixelate. And Nicola, that's what I was going to say to you yesterday. Yeah. Yes, we all love green screen backdrops, but when you've got a green screen, you have to be very, very aware that as soon as you move your hands out, or as soon as you start doing something that could be potentially distracting on a stage anyway, 3 to 7 seconds, if I've done it 3 times, drop it, do something different, even if you use the other hand. But if you move slowly, it's less pixelated than if you move fast. And the other thing you'll notice is that I've set up here, I have my hands below. If I need to use my hands to give myself energy when I talk, drop them down out of shot and use them below, because then what happens is it makes it look like I'm using my shoulders to actually get involved in things. And the expression then is not just stuck on your face, like we heard from Nicola, it's part of your body and part of the real you. So Elmo, that energy that you brought was brilliant. Thank you for bringing that in, and then for doing the example as well. Ups and downs, practice and watch for yourself. What's working, what could be distracting. What do people think of Elmo's thanks at the end?
So some of the comments from Elmo. Zama said, good energy, clear speech, very clear on his message. Bruce said, explain what a 360 is. Then Mary said, speak a bit slower. I found it difficult to follow. Paula said, sounded enthusiastic, clear, warm voice. A technical suggestion, using industry jargon that I may not understand. Okay, Paul is with a client. Then Melanie said, loved your energy, Elmo. It makes a huge difference. And that is it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nicola, for sharing those. Question for everybody. Does Elmo need to speak slower, or does he need to use more vocal variety? Question for you. I mean, because again, this is all perception. I may see something, I can actually see things that could be better till the cows come home. I can spot things because I've been doing this for 30 odd years, and I've been a performer on stage and screen, television presenter, actress, years ago, back in the just more recent future, past, years and years, nearly 30 odd years of doing this. So I can spot it. But my main aim is to guide and mentor you to be able to spot these things that work to make your impact and the potential distractions for people yourself. So that's why I keep banging on what works, what do you like about yourself, what's nice, visual, vocal, verbal, broken down into those three easy areas. And what I was saying, that I want to just mention about Elmo on a verbal impact. Yes, visual, vocal, huge importance, because this is like a television screen, but the verbal impact. Elmo, why did you say thank you at the end then?
I think to conclude the 30 seconds, to stop.
Was it like, oh, I've got to finish now, so thanks?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Thank you very much, Elmo, for admitting it. That is creature habit. We realize we've said too much and we've got to, oh, stop, thanks. But who out there, sorry, excuse me 1 second, folks. Oh, coughing in your ears, coughing in your faces. I do apologize. Ooh. Who out there felt a little bit that the thanks at the end was a touch of desperation? Anybody else? Yeah, there's a couple of people nodding and Bruce is smiling quietly there to himself. Yeah, so thanks, just a thanks, smacks of desperation. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thanks for something always, never simply thanks at the end. Does that make sense, Elmo?
Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. And I did love the fact that you chose, sorry, just rethinking back myself as well. This is what happens, folks. When your brain goes slow or you forget what you're meant to be saying at any particular point, get through it. Because how you get through it, admitting to people that I know that you know that I've messed up here. And the difference is when I mess up, I laugh at myself so that you don't see me going on my face. There's not a little eye blip, give away, a flick away, not looking at the, oh, I'm embarrassed, so I don't want to look at the camera anymore. I'll just get the glasses between the camera and my eyes so that you can't spot that I've messed up. Embrace your mistakes, folks. Think of them like tech mayors. Things will happen. They will go wrong. So love yourself. Bring that perception angel in and support yourself. Please be kind to you. Does that make sense, Elmo? He says, nodding. Nodding with a smile is good. And as I said, golden triangle, bring the smile, bring the expression, because this is the catching part. So you don't have to be like anybody else. I don't want you all to be like me. So I definitely don't want you all to be like me. As I said, been doing this for years. Drama queen. I learned to crown myself years ago. But as a result, I can just take the mickey out of myself and mess around, and I don't care. And my viewers who are used to me and know me don't care. And they're actually usually, Lottie, what are you going to mess up today? What are you going to stuff up today? That's my Australianism. And when I was coaching TV presenters in Sydney years ago, they all loved my, when you're going to mess up, stuff up with confidence and get over it. Get over it right there, right now, because then you can get past it. And then when you've lost track of where you are, as I said, I've got notes galore all over the place, but make it obvious So that's really important. Let me just check my notes because I've got to make sure I say the right thing. Oh yes, stuff up with confidence and get over it. Make it obvious that you're referring to your notes, because the sudden flick down where am I meant to be doesn't work. It simply disconnects you from your viewer. Yeah. So Nicola, there was a question about explaining 360 from Bruce. Bruce, that is 360 is just the full round camera, full round view. I'm not going to get into tech stuff. Again, I'm not a 360-degree expert. Hopefully, maybe you've all got the 9th to the 11th of July in your diaries, haven't you, for the Circle of Excellence Marketing Summit. Hopefully you've got that in your diaries. If not, get it in now, because Mike and Landy and Nicola will be doing a phenomenal job with brilliant speakers for you on that. So at the Marketing Summit, what I'd like to do, if I can get them all to do it, is come back and do more of a technical chat. And I want to bring some of my live streaming experts and people who live video produce shows and talks and summits and events for speakers, like Nicola's doing for me today, because it's much easier as the speaker to have the wonderful Nicola here, or if you're seeing her up there or over there or down there, wherever you're seeing her on screen, it's much nicer to have somebody else who can host for you when you are uncomfortable about the production side of things. So the 360 degrees explaining that, Bruce, that's a whole nother show on the tech stuff. So.
I wasn't necessarily wanting to know what 360 was. I was saying in a pitch, you mustn't use terms that other people might not. Like, I'm from the XYZ Association where we do, you know, this and this, and people go, okay, so to dumb down the text so common people like Diane can understand.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
It's bringing it back to the chat again, Bruce. Thank you for that comment and for clarifying that, because this is not a talk, this is a chat. It just happens that you're speaking through a mean machine rather than at the faces. So that's why, yes, practice, practice, practice. Who is this person that is here on camera? Who is that person, your biggest supporter who you're talking to? And you'll notice anytime I'm doing this at the side. I'm never covering the camera with my hand. I'm never letting my hands come between you and my eyes. So I will do that for a reason. I'm pointing at you, just like they do. Think of kids' TV, where you see that's where I started, by the way, where I learned all my mistakes. Kids and animals, never work with them, they say in the acting world. Done it. When I had to hold Snake on screen, and I was petrified in Hong Kong. The looking back at myself and going, oh, I got away with that. I was literally myself. The fear, because I giggled so much at myself, holding on to Max, one of my stories from my book, holding on to Max, I thought I was, laughing at yourself. It's the easiest way to get through when things go wrong. So Bruce, thank you for that. I totally agree. Specific language. I could have said I'm a member of the PSA with Paul. That's the Professional Speaking Association. And when you use a name like that, enunciate that very, very clearly. It's not Circle of Excellence, it's Circle of Excellence. That's when you can bring a gesture in. It's the Circle of Excellence. Do something fun with it. Yep, that's enough on that one. Otherwise, I could keep going for ages. Right, Nicola, should we get somebody else on screen now?
So we have 8 minutes left. I think we should do a few questions. So is there anyone who has any specific questions for Lottie on how to do things, how to get more confidence on camera, or, you know, whatever the case may be?
Or experiences that you felt killed you and what you could have done instead. So kill or crown, kill or crown.
I think one thing that I've most certainly experienced is the cross-cultural ear tuning that is required. And I find that if we're working even with a South African accent, it's okay, but as long as you're working, it's fairly well understood within Africa, most of Europe, and Australasia, I can get away with it. But when I'm working in Asia, I struggle and they struggle, and it takes about 20 minutes for my ear to rebuild connections to the understanding part of my brain. And by that time, you've lost kind of some of the key things. And as people speak really fast because they get excited and the time is short, we lose contact completely. And I think one of the things we need to realize that online is an international stage, and sometimes we need to pause and let that interpretation and percolation happen. And I don't know how to get, because everybody here's got their own accent. I've noticed, I'm kind of listening and I'm saying, oh, I've got a South African accent, but no, I've got a Cape Town accent, which is different in different regions. And Australia is different to East Coast, West Coast. And, you know, the people who live in the middle don't seem to be able to talk. So it's just interesting, just understanding all that. But we've got the same thing in the middle of South Africa. We also have this group of, never mind. But one thing, what can you maybe share with help us become understood and also help us understand others?
Well, Bruce, to that one, I'd say, well, yeah, man, that's super great that you kind of understand lots of people around the world. I really would. And especially if we're going to Australia, I'm really glad that the people in the middle of Australia, that I can't, what did Bruce say then? It was in my brain and then it's gone. But that was an hilarious insult there, Bruce. Well done. When, as I alluded to earlier with Nicola, when you have an accent, I don't have an Irish accent because I live in Ireland, but I'm not Irish. I was born in the UK. I've traveled around the world. I've lived in, half my family are in New Zealand. So actually in South Africa, you'll be fine speaking in New Zealand because they'll all understand you there. So Angela will know what you're talking about most of the time. Look, she's even giving you a thumbs up. So use your accent to play as part of the content that you share to use. But what I would like you to do is when you've got your content written down of what you actually want to cover, you'll see with me, I print things out. I actually then write things out in color. So that's all just memory reminders. But what you can do is get a red pen or a different color pen and at the side, write fast-paced chat. So fast. Key point. Key point means slow down. You'll also notice that when I asked your question, I've given you a moment to think. And then made a joke about it, has my camera. No, it's just actually giving you thinking time. Giving the viewers thinking time. While giving the viewers thinking time, it gives you the opportunity to, while you're thinking, I'm just going to check my notes and see where we are. So you can check your notes and allay any nerves, that your worries, I call it your wow moments. Wisdom over worry. Plan for what you're going to do if things go wrong. Plan for how you're going to get out of jail free. Plan for the fact that you may have international people on your call, and therefore you may need to bring things down slightly. When I've been speaking in Singapore, when I was doing TV in Hong Kong, that's where, yes, with the Asian market, by the way, most countries, they are very, very, very good. But I loved it in Thailand because I was never Lottie in Thailand. I was Naughty. Oh, you're so naughty. Hello, Naughty. Oh, I like you, Naughty. You're very funny, Naughty. So have a laugh with it as well. But pause, vary, vocal variety holds interest, remember? Vary the pace, vary the tone, vary everything. But for understanding, give people time. Throwing in questions. How many questions have I thrown at you so far today?
Lot.
Nobody knows exactly, Nicola. Lots. Nobody knows the exact answer. So throw out a question. It gives you back time to recap your own brain. Does that answer help for you, Bruce? Yep. Thank you, Zama. I can see you clapping there. Thank you very much.
So what I've done is I've shared Lottie's confidence on camera folder or file. So I think everyone can use that to, do you want to tell them a bit more about it? Maybe.
Yeah,
Lottie?
I mean, there's what I'm going to do for you folks. There's one video presenter self-assessment that you can actually be kind to yourself first. What works for you visually, vocally, verbally. And then there is a section where you can, okay, these are the potential distractions. What could I do even better? Be aware of yourself. And top tips to close, including my call to action, which is please feel free, wrong side, to buy Confidence on Camera. That's on Amazon's around the world, even though I'm not using Amazon because I don't want to support somebody who'd rather go to space than save our own world. But you can buy it in good bookshops too. But the top tips to close, because I kind of forewent a lot of the original side of things, remember this, the camera is your circle of excellence. Do you like that? Knocking my own glasses off, brought it back to your world. The camera is your circle of excellence. So be flawsome. Have your flaws and do them awesome. Whether it's setup, whether it's tech mayors, whether it's you. Make sure you know and trust yourself. And most of all, because not everybody is going to like you, why keep trying? That's the killing dying for yourself. So bring the fun. This is meant to be fun. Take it back to television and movies. Who has more fun than people on TV and in the movies? And if it all goes up, then get a cat. People love cats on camera. Super confident.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lottie. I think today was an incredible session. We learned quite a bit. I'm pretty sure we can go on for quite a few more hours in coaching, and there's a lot of topics to still touch. So we'll definitely, maybe in the future, have you back here to touch on the technical things and all of that. I'm sure people can contact you, Lottie, if there's anything else they want to ask you or extra questions.
That's all in the information, Nicola. I think there's a link tree which has got everything, all the places that I go live. I haven't been live recently, I said, because of health, but I will be getting back into it again. And I occasionally put, and there is a freebie about your setup that I've actually put, I've pinned on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So we can send you those links too.
Thank you so much, Lottie. We really appreciate having you here. Next week, we have Thomas Power on. So he will be speaking to us. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this week. And we'll chat to you soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you. Love that.
Big hugs, Roland.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Tanya.